Hello humans, it's just Martine and welcome to week 4 of Chaostober. Chaostober is a month-long reading challenge created by my bestie Danielle over at Danielle Reads, where you pick a goal for the month of October, and that's what you do for your reading in October. As I've stated in my past vlogs, I've been focusing on books for my 12 TBRs of Christmas, which are 12 videos that I make throughout the year that come out during the holiday season. It's just a lot of bookish madness and it's lots of fun. I started Chaostober with 36 books that I wanted to get to, and I'm currently at 27. Because last night, after I wrapped up my vlog for the night, I did end up finishing another book. Hooray. I'm hoping that my progress last week means that I'm going to start to see an upward trend in my reading, because week 2, I slumped hard, and I feel like I'm still crawling out of that, but I'm feeling more momentum, especially after finishing a huge book last week that I'd been reading all month. So I'm hopeful for this week. It's Monday morning. It's going to be kind of a crazy Monday. During the daytime, I'm going to present to some undergraduates about research in the lab that I'm in with my major professor. And then I'm going to work on edits for my dissertation proposal, because on Friday, my major professor sent me another round of edits. I think this might be the last round of edits before I send it to my committee. I do have to send it to my committee sometime this week, though, because I propose next week. I'm gonna walk away for a moment. So it's a crazy time, and I need to think about the fact also, once I send that to them, that I have a talk that I need to give at that I am not ready for. So this week, that's what we're going to work on. I'm also hoping to take a nice run today. It's supposed to be like a recovery run day, but I might challenge myself to do a recovery run on an indoor track instead of a treadmill and work on pacing myself well there. I'm going to use my watch to help me with that. So a little experimentation today could be fun. And then hopefully some good reading tonight. So it's a big week, but I can handle it. It's probably going to be a difficult week, but I've got what it takes. Let's do it. I'm manifesting it. We're going to make great progress this week. Dissertation, other things that I'm working on, reading. I'm going to read so much and I'm going to have so much fun doing it. That's the hope. So let's make it happen. Wow, look at that golden hour. It's just approaching 6:30 p.m. I've had a pretty good day. Right now I'm just getting some reading done. I actually just filmed an important intro for a 12 TBRs book, but other than that, I'm reading. So this evening, we read Progress, Progress, Progress. Happy Tuesday from the lab. If you were ever wondering why I'm always wearing a jacket in this room, it's because it is the coldest room I've ever known. Maybe I've known some rooms as cold as this. There are a couple classrooms on campus that are like next level, but this one, yeah, veritable walk-in fridge. Some days tends towards freezer territory, it feels like. So I'm always bundled up in here. And it gets worse the longer you stay in here. So like I'm preventatively putting on my jacket even though it's 86 degrees outside and I just walked half a mile to get here. Nevertheless, last night was good. I made some reading progress, maybe not as much as was optimal, but I made progress nevertheless. And today, big Tuesday, this morning already, I've reread my dissertation proposal once for final little things, which is good because I did catch a couple little things. I'm sure other things exist. John Green has said before that like you edit your book 1,000 times and then they print it and you open it up and the first page you open it up to always has an error. And I feel that same way with my academic writing. So it doesn't matter how many times I or my major professor read it, there will always be problems somewhere. So that's inevitable, but I caught a couple, so there are fewer, I guess. And then I sent it to my dissertation committee, which is a big step. In most programs, you send your dissertation over to your committee in a timely manner before your actual proposal date so that they can read the whole thing, because it's quite a lengthy document. And then the actual day of the proposal, which is next Thursday for me, is a time when I give like a 30-minute talk about it, and they ask all their questions that they thought of while reading it and while listening to me talk. So it's really important that they get the document and have a chance to read it through beforehand. So I sent that to them, which is scary, but also I'm proud of myself, because at the end of last month, when I was really just starting to kick this process into gear, I felt really uncertain that I would have it ready in time to send to them before the actual proposal date. So I'm really proud of myself for all the work I've put in the past couple of weeks to make that happen. And I'm proud of the study too. So, well, studies, plural, there are two, but I'm proud of the idea in general. So that's the big exciting thing today. I've got some other things on my list that I want to accomplish. You're on the whiteboard right now with my to-do list. There are 3 main things I want to work on. I want to work on prepping and practicing my lab lecture for tomorrow, because I teach tomorrow. I need to work on a letter of recommendation that's due on November 1st. That one I'm having some trouble with, because I've had to write sections of letters of recommendation before, but I've never done it in this way. So this student has had a letter of rec from my major professor in the past. So we already have an existing letter, and I need to add and edit in their new experiences that they've had with me in the lab in the past year. And for some reason, that's a real sticking point. Also, this is just a student I care a lot about, and so I want to give them the best recommendation possible. And so I'm like stressed about it, but that's on my list to work on today. And then if I have the chance before group therapy, I also want to work on some inter-rater reliability for some coding that some of my research assistants have been doing. If you're unfamiliar with psychological research, we tend to capture data in 3 main ways: numbers, words, and behaviors. But it's really hard to analyze words and behaviors. And so to properly do that from a statistics standpoint, you have to translate those words or behaviors into numbers. So as part of my thesis project, I had the set of questions that participants typed out a response to, and now we're coding them for different features. And it's really important that my coders code those similarly. So we're working on increasing their similarity and reliability across coders right now. And it's a process. It's an endeavor. So I'm hoping to crunch those numbers today. And I also hope they just went up from the last time we did a practice, but we'll see. So that's the plan for this morning and early afternoon. Then I have group therapy. Then I'm going to go on a run. Choir tonight. Hopefully we'll sneak in some reading at some point, and it's going to be a good day. It's a couple hours later. It's approaching 1:30, so I'm going to get ready to go to group therapy soon. But I just wanted to update you, especially because while I'm in the lab and I have my microphone, is like the most uninterrupted time that I have to film, because in my apartment, I get to film in like 5-minute increments based on the air conditioning system. So might as well take advantage of it and talk to you now while I can. So I got through my list, made good progress. The inter-rater reliability was terrible, just bad. So I have to come up with a new idea and experiment with that a little bit more. At least I got through everything on my list, and then I had some extra time, and I was like, I could always find more work to do, but I'm going to read instead, because I have been in a reading slump, or at least was last week, and now that I'm getting my reading mojo back, I want to take advantage of it. So I had my Kindle with me, and I read an hour of a sci-fi book that I started. Did I start it at the end of last week or at the start of this week? Regardless, it's one of my newer reads, and that hour got me from like a little less than 20% up to 33%. So good progress. I'm trying to put myself in a position where I could finish that book tomorrow, because tomorrow I have a solid amount of reading time on the bus. So it'd be super sick to finish a book there. And the past 2 weeks I've finished a book on the bus, so like might as well keep up the tradition. But I do still have over 4 hours left of this book. So I don't know. I'm just going to chip away at it today and see what we can do. I think it's a good goal to work towards at the very least. So I'm going to have a quick snack. I have options in my lunch bag. I have goldfish. I have cereal bar. I have pumpkin seeds. Lots of decisions to be made. I'm feeling something salty though, so I think I'm going to either have goldfish or pumpkin seeds. I think goldfish. That's the move. So I'm going to have some goldfish, get ready for group therapy, go do that, and just keep trucking. Happy Wednesday evening. It's approaching 8:30 p.m. I am sleepy, but I wanted to update you about my day and how things have been going. So the end of yesterday was good. And then today was kind of a weird day. I didn't feel super motivated on anything, which is fine. You know, it's nearing the end of the week. I guess not. I guess this is halfway through the week. Whatever. The weekend is closer than it is far, right? And so that's when my motivation always dips. I've also been feeling like really lonely the past couple of days. I have so many people in my life and so much love in my life, but I don't have people that I'm really, really close to here. And that sometimes is harder than others. And right now, it's really hard, and that's okay. So that's also affecting my motivation. Like, I just took a sad girl walk this morning instead of working. But I'm feeling pretty good tonight, especially because I just finished a book. So after I came back to my apartment from teaching, I watched Dancing with the Stars, and then I got going on my book. So I mentioned that I kind of was hoping to finish it on the bus yesterday. Okay, I did not actually set myself up for success in that matter. I still had too much of it left, but I made good progress in the bus in spite of being super sleepy and taking a couple of short naps. Yeah, I got to the point where I had like an hour or so left. It was telling me I had an hour and a half left, but there was back matter in the book. Hooray! So I actually only had an hour left. So I just paced and read the last hour of that. That puts me now at 26 books left on my October hopefuls list. Of course, next week is the last week of October, so, you know, whatever. But that number's smaller than when it started, so happy about that. And again, like I mentioned, I feel like I'm starting to get my mojo back, so I just wanted to continue that. And finishing a book today, I feel like, is pushing me in the right direction. So did that, even though the last hour of that book was really annoying to me. There was so much action happening, which is not my favorite thing to read, especially when I don't particularly care about the characters. And so I was just like, blah, at the end of it. And that always makes it harder. But I got through, and for the rest of the night, I'm just gonna chillax. I'll probably read a couple more pages before I go to bed, just because that's my normal routine of like, once I get into bed, I read a few pages, then I close my little eyes. That's the update. I'm so sleepy. Happy Friday. I just got back from Aldi, so obviously it's time for a grocery haul, and I'll catch you up on yesterday later. So I spent around $50 at Aldi this time, which is a bit much for Aldi, but that's okay. I'm gonna walk you through everything that I got. I'll start, I guess, with staples. I got 3 cans of black beans because that's how much I used last week. So restocking those. And I got 1 can of chickpeas because that's how much I used last week. So restocking those. The last canned thing that I got are these peach slices because last week, you might recall, I hauled Greek yogurt and I was like, this is an experiment. And it started rough. So I'm trudging through trying to find things that help with that experiment, and this seemed like it might help, so I got it. Speaking of things to put in my Greek yogurt that I thought would help, everybody's like, put in honey. Okay, I'm not a huge honey fan though, so like wasn't gonna do that. Instead, I got maple syrup, like the half Canadian in me should. So maple syrup acquired. For my berries this week, I only got blackberries because those were the ones I really liked from my haul last week, so why mess with something good? And they looked quality, so I went for it. I got 2 cucumbers. I forgot to show you the one that I got last week, but it was delicious, so got some more of those. Speaking of things I tried last week that were delicious, These protein bars were good, and I was worried they wouldn't have them again, so when I saw them, I bought 2 boxes. One of the few things on my actual list this week, lemon juice. So I bought a big old bottle of that. I got mini bagels. I thought these would be easier to freeze and unfreeze than regular bagels for some reason, and also they seem more fun than regular bagels. So mini bagels it was. I got this black bean salad to try because my sister, one of her like go-to meal prep things was to make a black bean salad like this and then put it on everything, like baked potatoes, other stuff. I forget what she put it on. I'm lazy and I've been wanting to try this for a while, so this week I finally did. I got 2 bags of cauliflower rice. I liked the ones that I got last week, so I'm down to get that more, especially since compared to the other packaged rice, it's like, I think cheaper to do this. And I found ones that were plain flavored instead of the garlic and herb, because those went a little weird with my black beans, so like this seemed better. I got red pepper flakes because I was eating pizza last week and I didn't have this and I was sad, so I'm fixing that. Got baby carrots, staple, good snack food. I got that coleslaw mix again because it worked really well for me actually in my chickpea gyros. So hooray, got it again. Speaking of my chickpea gyros, I got more of that pita bread because it was acceptable. I was mainly tasting the other things in the gyro. So it's the whole wheat, flax, and oat bran pita, and it holds things. Yep. And then finally, I got a thing of butter because the butter that I have in my fridge is old because I didn't use it often enough. So I need to get rid of that. So that's the haul. My back is tired from carrying that, but I'm going to go to the Dollar Tree because I need tissues. So that's the next step. Alrighty, it is late Friday afternoon. I'm here to give you a bit of an update. I actually wanted to give you an update about 40 minutes ago, but it's that time of day where the sun is shining so directly into my room that my air conditioning just runs consistently for like 40 minutes straight. So it just turned off now for the first time in a while. Yesterday was a really good day, not reading-wise, but like life-wise, because after the loneliness I experienced earlier this week, I decided to take action and I invited my classmates to Zumba last night. And so that did 2 things. 1, it gave me Zumba buddies, which was fun. It gave us a new experience together. But then 2, it meant that they had to hang around after our regular Thursday brown bag meeting. So we got to spend more than just the Zumba time together. We spent a couple hours in between brown bag and Zumba working together and chatting and just existing around one another, and I really, really needed that. And so between that and Zumba, it was just such a good day yesterday, so much fun, exactly what I needed. So that's pretty much all you missed. Reading wise, I think I can finish a book today. I'm a little over 50% of the way in, and my Kindle is telling me I have 2.5 hours left of it. So I'm feeling confident. It's not my favorite, so like I kind of hate that I have to push through it, but I do want to finish this book today. So that's going to be the goal. I'm also trying to do like food prep stuff as I go. So I just roasted a bunch of potatoes. Hopefully that will be nice for the next couple days. They're really yummy. I cut up Brussels sprouts, so they're ready to be roasted. It's a good time over here. I feel like it's so anticlimactic to be like, I waited 40 minutes to say 2 minutes worth of stuff. But that is what it is. So I'm going to get back to reading and chilling tonight. Friday night, excited about it. Absolutely no plans. So reading, YouTube, whatever I want to do. Tearing this biscuit in half did not go according to plan. There are now like 10 pieces of biscuit on my plate. Anyway, let's pretend that didn't happen. Happy Sunday. No, it is not. It is fully not Sunday. It is fully Saturday in this video. It's Saturday. I'm going to keep saying Sunday in this update, but I promise it was Saturday. What's wrong with me? Yes, I'm wearing the same sweater as yesterday. 2 things. 1, mind your business. 2, over time I rotate through the sweaters in my closet. So I wear a pullover sweater for 1 week and then I move on to the next one. It's just how I do things. As you've seen in my videos, sometimes I switch to cardigans on random days of the week, but this is my sweater this week and I've just been cozy in it. So I've been staying in it. So I look exactly like I did yesterday, but I promise it's Sunday. Yesterday, huge news, I did finish that book. I gave it 2.5 stars, which is obviously not the goal. And maybe feels a little harsh, but whatever. Ratings are fake, so that's what I gave it. So I guess I should pull up my spreadsheet now, though, because that means theoretically that I have less books to read, although still many. I officially have 25 books left on my Chaostober list. It is, of course, October 25th, so a celebratory 25 books left on the 25th. It's fully not Sunday. Did I say it was Sunday? It's fully Saturday. It feels like Sunday today because I didn't have to go grocery shopping this morning, but that's because I went grocery shopping on Friday. I don't know where I am in space and time. Happy Saturday. Also, I'm really glad that I did go shopping yesterday, even though it was Friday, because it's been raining for part of this morning. So it would have rained on me if I went shopping this morning. So dodge that bullet. I've been spending the morning watching The Bachelor. To be honest, I was finishing Joey's season. Now it's almost 10 a.m. and I've got a busy day in front of me. I want to get some reading done. I would really love to finish another book. I have like a little over 4 hours left of that, so it's doable. I also need to edit tomorrow's vlog, and I have like 40 minutes of raw footage for that. I just imported everything. I also have a call with at least one friend, but maybe two. I need to reach out to that other friend and see, because usually that second friend and I, we talk on Wednesday nights, but they were not available this Wednesday night, so they were like, can we talk this weekend? And I was like, sure thing, but then we didn't set a time to do that, so I need to reach out to them and see when that's happening. I'd also love to go for a run today. That would be sick, but really, who knows? Like, it's Saturday, so the world's my oyster, even though my brain believes it's Sunday very strongly. We started with a little breakfast sandwich, and we're ready to go. Boop, 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 boop. Oh, I also really would like to film like a lot of reviews today and tomorrow, because the goal is to have my TBR crime video go up next week, which means I just have one book left to finish for that now. It's the book that I'm hoping to finish today. It does mean that I need to film all the reviews, and I'm still very behind on filming all the reviews, so like that's going to be a bit of a chore. I also don't know how to handle, like, I don't just want to be wearing the same thing in all the reviews, because I did read them across time and I want it to be perceived that way, but also I'm filming all the reviews at once, so I don't know what to do. By the time you see this, that should be posted, so I won't be able to get your thoughts and feelings, but if you watched it and you have feedback on it, feel free to let me know. With that said, I'm going to finish this sad, crumbly biscuit and get on with my day. Happy Sunday. I did not end up finishing that book I was talking about yesterday. I got to like an hour and a half left of it, but it's a physical book, so then I wanted to get into bed. So that was done for the night. But I did finish it this morning. Woohoo! That was actually the last book I had to finish for my TBR crime episode. And it also means I'm down to 24 books on this Chaostober list, which is something. I feel like I'm finally starting to make progress. Better late than never, frankly. I'm also only like 2 hours away from finishing another book. So there's a chance I could finish that today if I manage to make the reading time for it. Because honestly, I feel like yesterday, being a human took up so much more time than I thought it was going to. A ridiculous amount of time. So that cut into my reading time, which is fine. Being human comes first. But I would just love for it to be a good reading day. And starting out by finishing the last hour and a half of the book, I think, is a good sign. So I will take it. Other than that, it's just a Sunday. It doesn't really feel like a Sunday, but it is one. So we're hanging in there. And I got my video uploaded for later today, so I'm feeling good about that. I don't know. I don't have much to say, but I just wanted to tell you that I am making progress. Now I just need to go film the review for this. Alrighty, it's evening, just past 6:30 p.m. and I'm here to give you some final updates because I'm gonna call this a vlog. I did finish a second book today, which felt really good. I feel like I can't remember the last time I finished 2 books in a day. So even though I'd obviously been making progress on these 2 books for a while, like, I finished them both today, and that's always an incredible feeling. So I'm actually only currently reading 2 books, which is a bit wild for me. That brings my total still on the Chaostober list down to 23, which again is still so many books, but I feel like I'm finally getting some movement, some momentum, and so I'm feeling good about it, even though 23 is still like a little absurd. This week I finished, I think, 12 TBRs books, which I will totally take. And overall, even though this week had some hard emotional moments, it's also been a really good week, and I feel a lot like myself right now, which is good. So I'm going to end it here. If you'd like to go ahead and give it a big thumbs up and comment down below. By the time this comes out, October will be over. So how was your October reading, and what are your hopes for your November reading? And subscribe for more bookish and college lifestyle content. And until next time, bye humans, bye!